Heroes of Loot Gauntlet of Power is a randomly generated action shooter that plays from the overhead perspective. Now, the best way I can describe this and really sum it up by just comparing two games to what this is think of if you take The Binding of Isaac and you combine it with the combat system of like Vampire Survivors, where you auto attack, but the game as a whole flows like The Binding of Isaac, the way you maneuver through each dungeon and fight a boss at the end and acquire upgrades. So if that sounds really appealing to you, trust me, it is. And this is one of those games that when you first play it, you might think, this is okay. But the more I got into it, the more addicted I became to this. I played through so many runs of this game. All 3 of the characters that I unlocked, there are 4 total. I played through the entirety of the game. I beat it on all 3 difficulty levels. There's a lot of different unlocks and things in this to tinker with, and that's really what drove me to want to keep playing through another run. And that's the hook that really kept me invested in this. So in the beginning, when you first play it, you're only going to have your choice between 2 characters. You're going to start in an area that's randomly generated. There's all different types of rooms. And the main goal of each and every room is to clear all of the enemies. There's going to be loot that drops. Most of the time, this is going to be either gold coins, red or blue gems, and sometimes pieces of meat which just replenish your health. There's also going to be other consumables you'll pick up. There's health potions and keys and things like that. I won't go into each and every item because there's honestly so many of them, and everything in the game that you acquire is tracked incredibly well in the codex. And this is a part of the game that I adored. And it might sound like a stupid thing to really like, but in The Binding of Isaac, whenever you pick up an item, you never know what it does. It's just not tracked well. I always had to play that game using a wiki page and be like, okay, here's this item I'm about to pick up. What does it do? Is it good? Is it bad? In this, there's not really a lot of that crap where you can pick up an item and it'll totally ruin your run. Now, you're going to have items, sure, that are more beneficial or more to your taste than others, but I didn't pick up anything that felt universally bad. And I really appreciated the codex because I was able to go in and look and see information on the items and the loot and the enemies and all these things that I've encountered on my journey. Now, this Nintendo Switch release does include a bunch of the updates and additional content because this game did originally come out last year on PC, so you have the complete package of what's available right now at your disposal from the beginning. And there's quite a bit of content here. Each run felt unique because it is randomly generated. The biomes will mostly be the same, but there are times where there's secrets and you can deviate to a hidden biome. Something that I really needed to get used to in the game, though, that was very different for a game of this style, is that you auto-attack. And the way that works is really dependent on your strategy and the way that you build your gauntlet. So you have a gauntlet, and when you level up, you can equip different weapons to different directions and diagonals in your gauntlet. And that's going to be the direction that your character automatically fires whatever that weapon is in that direction. So there's a good deal of strategy. And with each run that I made through this game, I learned more and more what worked to my playstyle. And then additionally, each character felt a bit unique because they all have their own dash maneuver. Each character, at the press of a button, it does have a cooldown, but they have a different dash. Some have more mobility than others, and that's the fun of each character, is trying these out and seeing which one really suits your tastes. I like the wizard to start out with, more so than the archer, but some of the unlockable characters are pretty fun too, and that's mostly what I settled on. once I had those unlocked. There's a lot of variety to the enemies, there's quests you'll come across, there's secret rooms, there's unlockables, and there's even unlockable cheats. Although I tried using some of these and I didn't realize it at the time, but the run I did with the cheats kind of made the game harder, which is a little bit weird. But there's so much in this game to explore, figure out, tinker with, unlock, that this is such an easy game for me to recommend. It runs butter smooth on Switch, and I know that might seem like a stupid thing to even mention for a pixel art game, but trust me, there's a lot going on all the time on screen in this, and I've played other games that just weren't optimized properly when they were ported over to Switch from PC, and they actually ran pretty crappy. This one ran smooth, never had any issues, and there's so much going on when you get into the later dungeons, and there's just a ton of enemies. I had a lot of fun with Gauntlet of Power, and I highly recommend you check it out. If you enjoy The Binding of Isaac and Vampire Survivors like I do, which I understand are two totally different things, then you absolutely need to check this game out. It is so much fun. I didn't play it at all in handheld mode, but this would be a great game to take on the road and play. I especially love that it saves in between dungeons, so you don't have to do a full run in one session. Again, might be a simple thing, but a lot of games overlook these simple things. So this was Heroes of Loot, Gauntlet of Power. It was a really enjoyable little indie game, and I know this is probably one of those games that not a lot of people have heard about and probably won't even look at on the eShop in the coming soon section or the available now, but it's definitely one that you should check out because it's a lot of fun. And if you'll excuse me, I got a few more runs to do. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a like. Comment below if you have any questions. And subscribe if you haven't done so already. But until next time, have a good one.